You talk about these students that have been kidnapped and being in process of
Yeah,
deported.
well, I during much of my career, I worked in Latin America during the Cold War, where dirty wars were fought in many countries. And one of the signature techniques of these dirty wars was disappearing people. In Argentina, for example, in the late 1970s, Ford Falcons were the vehicle of choice for the military to drive up to a person's residence, to a school, to where they might be on the street and whisk them away. And then often they were not seen again. I think we're seeing these tactics coming home to the United States now. Mahmoud Khalil and the young woman from Tufts are are examples of that. I think this also speaks to the immigration issue as well. So Trump, as you know, has made all this noise about deporting millions of undocumented migrants and so forth. And as far as I can tell, that isn't happening, or it's not happening any more so yet than it did under Biden. But I think what these disappearances of students like Mahmoud Khalil are about is using the sort of, spectacular performative violence to send a message to the MAGA base that, hey, look, we are on this. We're getting rid of these people. You can still count on us. And when in fact they don't have the manpower and they haven't ramped up this massive deportation machine that they're talking about. I mean, I think it could very well still happen, but to me, it seems like it's also sending a message to people just about the the cruelty and the violence that they're willing to use, and how they're using it in this kind of spectacular public way to send a message.
Also, a good intimidation tactic.
Mhm.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. And to tell people that, yeah, if you dare to protest, this could happen to you.
I heard a story earlier today, that maybe came out yesterday, that Trump is now talking about carve-outs for people who need the immigrants, like farmers
Mm.
and you know, construction trades and all that. I think, they're waking up to the fact that our economy could not survive losing, 20 million skilled people who actually show up to work.
Yeah, and when you think about that with these crazy tariff policies that he's imposing now, what does he expect U.S. businesses to come back to the United States and pay, Americans, U.S. citizens, the wages that they're accustomed to make? I mean, of course they're not going to do that. So, right, how can he deport all these people? It just, yeah, it's so crazy
Mhm.
and nonsensical, but horrible at the same time.
It's,
One of my concerns is that it seems like they are also willing and ready to jump at the chance of sweeping up American citizens,
Yeah.
like the poor guy in Maryland, sweeping up American citizens and also deporting them. Now, I don't know where you would deport an American citizen to.
Right.
If you're deporting me back to my homeland, it's either going to be England or Germany, which at this point would be fine. Um, but that's a concern that they're just going to sweep up American citizens along the way and then say, conveniently say, well, it's too difficult to bring them back. They're in another sovereign country.
Once you can get rid of due process, we're all next.
Absolutely right. Exactly. Right. That um, if his immigration plans are allowed to happen, right, then who's next? We're all next.